the other, you blink, and then you get to miss a whole lot. Over the weekend, there were a lot of things, especially outside of the social space, that really, in quotes, trended, whether for the right or for the wrong reasons. But I'm sure you got all of those gist on the buzz from 3 to 4 p.m. You have to find time to join them again tomorrow. J Dan and BB, of course, they always have the compliment of the superstar turntable maestro, the world famous DJ Gabby T, always giving you the very best of music. Yeah, and of course, Monday is always movie review. Well, join them tomorrow, 3 to 4 p.m. on your Super Dial mainland 98.3 FM. Today on the show, we're going to be digging deep into the incident that happened in Oyo State, that's Ibadan specifically, at the Agodi government house. I mean, unpleasant scene, especially if you follow the conversation around Nigerian politics. Well, today on the show, Mr. Dennis Amakre, the former deputy director of Department of State Services, joins us via phone on the show today, and we're going to be looking at the consequences of that unfortunate situation. But before we go straight up into that, I would also talk about the 10 years. I don't know if it's supposed to be remembrance or if it's supposed to be something we should be excited about, but of the kidnap of the Chibok girls. It was 10 years yesterday, and there are still about 92 of those girls yet to be reunited with their parents 10 years down the line. If you look at some of those girls, some of them would probably have been maybe out of school, university, do their degrees, their masters, and in a world where the girl education is constantly dominating the space, it's quite unfortunate that 10 years down the line, we still have over 90 of the kidnapped Chibok girls yet to be reunited with their families. There was some form of outing today, and it brought in that memory 10 years ago under the administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan. A couple of them have been rescued almost immediately, some of them years later. So many stories around the unfortunate kidnap of the Chibok girls. Well, my guest is live on the show today via phone, Mr. Dennis Amakre. Good evening. Thank you for joining us live on the show in the Situation Room in the city of Lagos.
Good evening. Good evening, Nigerians.
Okay, good to have you on the show. So let's get straight up into it. First off, before we talk about the main crux of the conversation today, let's look at the unfortunate situation of the Chibok girls, terrorism and gender issues. Lessons from the Chibok girls. If you look at the numbers, it's a well-known fact that most times when some of these attacks happen, the women and the children are always the soft type. We learned the families. What have we learned?
You see, solving it. We are not approaching it properly. Either because there are people is for one part of the country, and a serious solution is not found for it. Because look at Chibok girls, they've been taken for how many years now? You remember the Kuriga people that were just released, or was it speed with which they were released? Now, why can't we do the same thing for Chibok girls? And these people have been there for so many years. Some of them have had babies and in Nigeria. And that is very, very sad because as a country, by now we should have a anti-kidnap policy, and then of course a kidnap response team that will always respond to kidnap situation. Attention. So kidnapping festers in our country as it likes.
Which is quite unfortunate. Thank you, by the way, for that introduction. So before we leave this one, for my little knowledge of having conversation around intelligence personnel and all of that, information gathering and information sharing amongst the relevant security agencies had been one of the issues that have been put at the front burner. What are we doing wrong in terms of, incident happened in Kaduna where people that were returning from, if they were supposed to be terrorists and then their location was misinterpreted and misshared, all of those issues. What are we doing wrongly in terms of information gathering and information sharing and synergy within all of the security and intelligence agencies that we have in Nigeria at the moment?
Well, I think the intelligence agencies are doing the best they could. They are doing the best they could, but I would recommend that they up their technology. There are modern technologies available, and these technologies are, very, very precise, and we should get them for our security agencies. Instead of going to pay for ransom when people are kidnapped, we go and pay millions and millions of naira to kidnappers. We should use that money in buying precision equipment for the security agencies so that they could use that in doing the job. And then, of course, when the information, when there is technology, they should also share.